Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video here today from Cosmicverse titled Dating in 2025 is Impossible. It reminds me of the old saying, the more things that change, the more they stay the same. Today's video was suggested to me by Matrix of Madness. I'm going to leave both of their channels linked in the pinned comments, so make sure you go and subscribe to these guys. Don't forget to leave your own comments, and let's jump right into the video.
This is something that guys have to watch out for. The woman that is traveling either alone or with her friends. I hate to break it to you, but you know what these women are doing? They're going on dating apps. They're having their fun on vacation and then they return back home to you as if nothing happened. They return back home to their boyfriends or their husbands as if nothing happened. So just be careful because this is becoming way more common than you think.
These girls' trips are one of the staples of modern women's behavior. They go out to Miami, Las Vegas, and things like this, and they get up to all sorts of shameful behavior. And any kept woman who insists on going really has zero respect for their significant other, in my opinion.
Hey, it's 2025. We're doing something different this year. Hear me out. Be a slut. Yeah. Be a slut. Like, have a bunch of boyfriends, have a bunch of girlfriends, whatever you want. Just tell them about each other. That way, nobody gets hurt. You're welcome.
You need help.
This is effectively a rebranding of an old product. Modern women have been encouraging this promiscuous behavior for over a decade because it's a new year, it's a new idea, apparently. But we're all thinking the same thing. Meet the new year, same as the old year.
Dating in New York is really, really bad right now. Like, look, I look sexy as fuck, sexy AF, and not a single soul has looked in my way, in my direction, my directional pattern, like, way. Body check. And, like, if I knew no one was gonna stare at me or, like, give me at least a compliment, like, I would have just worked out at home. Like, there's no need for me to be in a sports bra and nobody's asking me out on a date or, like, to leave my house with me, like...
Take note, guys, the same women who will risk their lives by running around the New York City at night just to get men's attention are the exact same women who complain about getting catcalled during the daytime.
I can't. Also, like, yeah, I'm not an erotic type bitch, like, feminist type bitch, like... There's a reason I'm wearing a tiny, tiny sports bra. There's always a reason. Like, look at me, please. Someone look at me. Smile at me. Something. Someone make me feel alive. I'm walking more uptown, so I put my sweatshirt back on because, like, the window of opportunity is closed.
I don't see how she can be so shocked that nobody is looking at her. Modern women demanded, more or less, have threatened legal action and social media shaming against a man if he so much as glances in her general direction for more than a quarter of a second.
What she's ultimately seeking is validation from men, which is why she chose to dress in a way that sexualizes herself by wearing a sports bra. She clearly hoped it would make her the center of attention, but instead she was left utterly disappointed. Not a single man looked her way or even approached her. It's a classic example of how attempts to demand attention can completely backfire. The situation highlights a modern truth that continues to ring loud and clear. Don't sexualize women.
These are the same women who say that all men are bedroom fun, obsessed pigs who deserve to be humbled for the horrific crime of merely existing, and yet she is upset that men aren't paying attention to her when she dresses provocatively.
They'll do it themselves. This woman exemplifies that perfectly. By putting herself on display, she intended to draw male eyes and elicit interest, but the reality didn't play out as she had imagined. Instead of receiving validation, she was met with indifference, which must have been a bitter pill to swallow. This behavior often ties into deeper insecurities or societal pressures that equate a woman's worth with how much attention she can garner from men.
Honestly, these women see validation as a food group. They need it in order to survive their daily lives, it seems. That's why they freak out when attractive men don't pay attention to them. If you live your life seeking validation from other people, you are going to set yourself up for disappointment every damn time.
So I just want to let everybody know that in 2025, I will be accepting boyfriend applications. Yes, very exciting. No uglies. No uglies, no uneducated, and I'm not playing. Anyways, DM me. Thank you. I'm so excited. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
All right, dating intentions for 2025, not catching feelings for any boys that are going to break my heart. I can't take it. I don't want it. No, not doing it.
It's interesting how these women will post their dating intentions for the new year, and their first inclination is to openly insult the men that she expects to date. And this is made even more interesting because she honestly thinks that men are paying attention and taking notes.
So if anybody sees me doing this, please get in your car immediately. Run me the over.
I was on Hinge a few months ago and I went on a bunch of dates. I met some really nice people, but like nothing was like, mwah, chef's kiss, nothing. I deleted it like a month ago. I haven't been on any dating apps and I swear I'm going to meet somebody in person, right? But then like the loneliness sets in and I start to wonder, like, should I just download it again? But the last thing I want to do is download it and talk to guys out of boredom or loneliness. That's like the worst possible thing that you can do for your mental health.
Honestly, guys, dating apps are like digital cigarettes for these women. They keep saying that they're going to quit the apps, but we all know their willpower is so damn weak that they will go back to them once they realize they are incapable of meeting men out in the wild. Even though if she was just to talk to a guy, she could easily get a phone number.
I have some friends who have amazing success stories, like they've met their husbands or wives on a dating app. But like most stories I hear are just like, ugh.
Wait a minute, madam. You've gone on many dates, met a few nice people, and yet you still can't find a man. It really makes you wonder, what kind of man are you actually looking for?
She can deny it all she wants, but she is looking for a top percentage dude. She wants a well-built, financially successful, and tall guy who's willing to give up his lifestyle to be with her. Those men are so rare that I find it doubtful that they even exist oftentimes.
This is the underlying problem that so many don't see. They'll claim that there are no good men left, but the truth is, they've likely crossed paths with several good men who just didn't fit into the idealized checklist they've created in their minds. The issue isn't a lack of option, it's a lack of the perfect that they want, which doesn't exist. This mindset also reflects a lack of self-awareness.
The checklist that they have in their heads is so ambiguous that she will find reasons why the man isn't an ideal match. He could be funny, good-hearted, and loyal, but she will dump him because he drives a Honda or because he's too boring.
Instead of appreciating the good qualities in the men they meet or focusing on building a connection, they focus on what's missing or what could be better. This endless pursuit of perfection leaves them perpetually unsatisfied. What's worse, when things don't work out, they often place the blame on men, rather than taking a step back to reflect on their own approach or expectations.
We all know that making compromises is a part of everyday life. Most people know that you can't always get what you want, but these women refuse to believe that. They want perfection and will sacrifice their future in that feeble pursuit.
Where are the girls that are just super laid back and chill and not extremely high maintenance?
Where are the men that actually brush their teeth in the morning? Brush their teeth at all? Where are the men that take showers, brush their hair, shave regularly? Where are the men that are educated and employed? Where are the men that actually make the first move and they actually want to take you out on a nice date? Where are the men that don't stand up girls on dates? Where are the men that actually pay for the first date? Where did they go?
I find it rather difficult to believe that this woman has gone on numerous dates with unemployed men who don't shower or brush their teeth. She's just mad that her last dozen dates made her pay for her own food, in my opinion.
I like how that guy asked a very simple question, and instead of giving a straightforward answer, she immediately started projecting her bad experiences with the men she's dated. It's almost like she's deflecting from the real issue by blaming the entire gender for her own choices. A lot could be said here, but where are the women who actually know how to reciprocate? Because reciprocation is incredibly important to the kind of men these women are constantly asking about.
In the mind of a modern woman, the concept of reciprocation is her showing up on time and then existing afterwards. They act like a half-hearted hug and pretending to care are golden prizes that men must bend over backwards in order to earn.
These men aren't just looking for someone who will sit back and receive. They want a partner who can match their energy, their efforts, and their intentions. These women can't find where these men are because they don't want to be found.
When did men stop tricking on women?
Tricking, is it? Oh, goody.
At what point did somebody sit you down and tell you that men are the prize?
Considering that these women straight up demand money, looks, and endless amounts of bliss, it would seem like men are indeed the prize.
Nobody had to sit them down, as it's become increasingly apparent that women, more often than not, seem to compete for men's attention, not the other way around. So, at the end, who's really the prize?
That men are supposed to get princess treatment.
What is princess treatment after all, except being treated well in a relationship, appreciated, and shown only the best? Men aren't supposed to want that now?
Who sat you down and told you that it's lame to want to provide for a woman?
It's crazy how they always resort to shaming men who just want some peace, kindness, and respect. Their idea of providing includes expensive dates and shopping sprees, but why should a man waste his money and time with a woman who openly disrespects them online?
It's lame to want to please her.
I see where this is going.
It's lame to want to marry a woman and pay bills in the household.
Well, seeing as how a lot of women have been treating men lately, why would they want to?
Who told you that? Like, was it your mom? Was it the pick-me that had you? Who was it? Like, you're literally a man. Like,
Tell me, who sees what they're doing?
some of you just need to go out and find you a husband, baby, because you don't want a wife. You want the soft life.
This is how bad it's become. Any man who wants anything out of a relationship is now considered soft and weak, and many men have walked away because there's no point in giving these women any affection or attention if this is how they're going to be treated.
Well, that's certainly one way to try to manipulate men into being interested. Use shaming tactics in order to get them to be interested in dating or marriage. Let me know when that works.
The only thing this girl has managed to do is broadcast loud and clear that she doesn't have a man in her life. By the way she's speaking, it's obvious she's never had a proper man or been in a genuine, meaningful relationship.
It's all a fantasy movie to modern women. They want a good-looking man who's just going to do everything for them while she feels the need to do absolutely nothing. They won't accept anything less, apparently.
Her tone and perspective reveal more about her lack of experience than anything else. When you consider the number of men who've been burned by divorce, losing their assets, homes, and even access to their children, it's no wonder the traditional provider role means absolutely nothing to many of them anymore. Why would they put themselves in a position to sacrifice so much, only to risk losing everything they've worked for?
Some of the divorce stories that we cover are truly heartbreaking. Good men who work hard and are dedicated fathers are thrown under the bus because the woman believed she was unhappy. Marriage isn't worth the risk anymore after that.
For many men, the cost simply isn't worth the risk, especially when the respect and appreciation they once hoped to receive have been replaced by entitlement and disdain. Let's be real. Most women have made it abundantly clear that they don't need men in their lives, so men have left it at that.
You guys know that trend where the women or the girlfriends tell their man that they can't pay the mortgage?
Yes, we all know the trend. It's stupid, it's unfunny, and it goes to show where the priorities of modern wives are, and yet these women think it's somehow making some sort of a statement for being a quote-unquote boss babe.
And then the men just laugh. Where do you find one of those guys? Because as far as I'm concerned, they don't exist. So I'm just wondering if there's a special place that you can find one that wants to take care of you. Because where I'm from, or the men that I know, they have female energy, like heavy female energy. I'm over here like doing community service for them. So I was just wondering like where they can be found. So if anyone can let me know, that would be great. Thank you.
Women like this are incapable of appreciating the amount of work that husbands do to provide for their wives. They just expect it and feel like they have zero obligation to provide anything in return.
You know what's so freaking annoying is Hinge. I hate it. I hate it. I actually just hate dating in general in this generation because it's
Freaking horse crap.
literally, if we match, be a
Freaking
man and say something! Like, say, hey, how are you? Why are you gonna match with me and do
freaking
with it? Like, I'm not gonna
freaking
to you. I'm so sick of being the masculine in the relationship bias, whatever you want to
freaking
call it.
They have no idea that men find these profanity-laden rants that are full of rude and emasculating remarks just insulting and generally unattractive. They post these videos to the public and are unaware that men are even listening.
Where you always have to reach out. I'm
freaking
over it. Like, I just want someone to freaking be like, let me be like in my feminine era. Like, why is that so
freaking
hard? Like, I don't want to like have to plan everything and have to like do everything first. Like, why can't I just find someone where it's like, I want to pursue you and like, let's go on a date, let's do this, and like, I'll plan it. Like, why is that so
freaking
hard?
Her quote-unquote feminine era consists of her sitting around, doing nothing, providing absolutely nothing to a man, while the man does all of the work. And even if she finds a man like that, she won't respect him because she'll feel like she has no control in the relationship. She's set it up so that men can't win no matter what they do.
I'm gonna go for a walk.
Believe it or not, women have the option to start dating if they want to. Getting off the dating apps is the first step, and approaching a man in real life is the next. Many of them are frustrated with dating because nothing serious is clicking for them. Instead, they're on Hinge, swiping left and right, running into players and men who aren't looking for commitment.
These women will never understand that the majority of good men ditched the apps years ago. There was no point because women like this will just ignore them if they reach out. Oftentimes, to most dudes, it's completely useless to have them and does nothing but take up space on their phone and waste their data packages.
It's easy to get disillusioned when it feels like everyone on these apps is playing games, but the reality is they're not going to find something real if they continue playing the same game. The last time I checked, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. If you're stuck in the cycle of swiping, chatting briefly, and then dealing with disappointment, maybe it's time for a change in approach.
They'll never do that. They will constantly re-download apps and assume that this time it will be different. They claim to change their intentions, yet they keep going after the same men over and over again.
What's mostly stopping these women from approaching men is their ego. And that same ego is keeping them single and frustrated.
I have a question for men. I feel like a lot of men are no longer interested in dating. They give up on dating. They're not even trying. Why do you guys think that is the case?
Too much work and waste of money and time. Some women, all they want is money. Tired of being used. Tired of being used, cheated on and ghosted. So now we go to work and come home. Love to find my person, but tired of heartbreak.
Men have been very clear about why they're giving up on dating. There are countless channels, comments, videos explaining why. But modern women will always turn a blind eye as men's word fall on their deaf ears.
It's not dating, it's an interview. How much do you make? What can you give me?
I really need to get taken out. Either on a date or by a sniper. Either one's fine with me.
I feel like such a dude right now because it took me over a year to realize how badly I fumbled the bag when dating this amazing man.
They will always fumble a good guy. That's because she will look for excuses as to why he's not good enough for her. If a man doesn't fit her idealized version of men, then she will dump him, even though these women complain about these men using overambiguous terms.
Like, he was one of the sweetest, kindest, most genuine guys I've ever dated, and I threw him away like day-old trash, and I'm just so disappointed in myself and how I conducted myself and how I behaved and how I treated him and made him feel taken advantage of, and I'm just disappointed in the way that I ended things so abruptly, so rudely.
We know exactly what happened with this one. This quote-unquote nice guy that she fumbled was her second choice. She was just waiting for her primary choice to become available. Now she's pretending to regret fumbling because this man isn't going to simp for her.
I am so over the male species as a whole right now that, like, if you want to go on a date with me, get us a room on the strip at a resort. Get me a spa to the get me a pass to the spa for a nice massage, and then take me to Carbone. And if it's not that, I'm not gonna waste my time.
She's honestly thinking her demands of men are completely reasonable, but there isn't a single man on this earth who'd be willing to rent her a room at a roach-infested motel, let alone an all-expenses-paid trip to Las Vegas.
I'm literally too pretty for this. I cannot do this.
I got tagged in this video and I almost didn't stitch it, but you guys want me to tell her. So here it is. Look, a man's gauge of attractiveness is impacted by what comes out of your mouth. So whether or not the men commenting on your video realize it, they are being impacted by what you are saying. Because men find entitlement to be so unattractive. The main reason for this is because men at a very young age are trained and conditioned to not be entitled. They have to work hard for what they have.
These women treat men as if they aren't even human. He's viewed as nothing more than a service provider, but the only difference is that he's supposed to pay hefty fees and expect nothing in return.
So when that man is looking for a life partner, he needs somebody that helps him and supports him, not somebody that just demands more.
Too pretty, she says. Well, I'll just leave it at that. I don't know what beauty has to do with anything, but one thing's clear. Entitlement is not what a man is searching for in a woman. Listen to this woman carefully. She's describing a honeymoon, not a first date. It's as if she expects everything to be perfect from the get-go.
I'm telling you guys, these women will think of anything short of perfect as a complete failure, and if a date or a relationship fails, then it's never her fault, and they'll always have the nerve to blame us for their poor life choices.
Like the man should already be treating her like a queen, without even building a real connection first. The reality is, looks can only get you so far. Sure, attraction is important, but it's not the foundation of a lasting relationship. Men are looking for qualities that go beyond physical beauty. When a woman enters the dating scene, expecting to be treated like royalty without putting in the effort to build something meaningful, it's a huge turn-off.
I personally don't understand why women would want to be treated like princesses or queens. Females from noble families were pretty much cattle. They were pretty much used as bargaining chips for marriage alliances. Who would want to live a life like that?
The problem here is that she's equating beauty and entitlement with being worthy of a man's time, attention, and resources. What a joke.
Okay, one for the girls in 2025. Like, how are we all going to be meeting people? Because I actually think the dating apps are like gonna die, and I really hope they are gonna die.
It's rather fascinating to watch these women try to figure out life without using dating applications. All they have to do is approach a guy and be friendly, and they could get a dude. Men are really not that complicated. But the apps have given her so much brain rot that the idea of starting up a conversation with a guy is completely beyond her comprehension.
Because I honestly go on my dating apps now, and even if I've matched with people, I just have zero energy to speak to anyone on there. Like, it's pure chore. And I don't see it as like something fun or exciting anymore. It's just like, bleh. And I rarely will actually like engage in a conversation now or even get on a date with someone. And I'm like, how are we meant to be meeting people? Because it's like, I do the run clubs, I go to the gym. Like, surely the apps are dead now. Like, surely something has got to change in 2025. I think we're all just too greedy as well. Like,
the two places she goes to look for men are clubs and gyms. Men are abandoning the clubs for obvious reasons, and modern women have weaponized the gym against men. This woman needs to try slightly harder than none at all if she wants a date.
we've been given so much choice with dating apps. Like, you could be dating someone, but then you could be like, oh, this could be something better out there for me. I just think it's ruined our whole culture. So can we have some change in 2025, please?
Men do not love nurturing, caring women. They will not take care of you. They will not reward you. You do not gain anything for going through hell with a man. You know what you get? You lose your hair and you get some deep wrinkles. Thank you.
Of course, there is a child in the background, a bitter, divorced single mother who's trying to convince the planet that she's a kind and nurturing woman while also angrily bashing men because nobody wants to date her.
Are you truly nurturing and caring if you have an expectation out of him from it? And it's not that men don't love those qualities. They genuinely do. But there's a difference between nurturing and caring and being there for him and taking care of him and not having any boundaries and letting him walk all over you and not communicating your wants and needs out of the relationship. There is a balance to all of it. When you're a kind of a pushover and you let people just take from you and you don't have those limits, unfortunately, you're more likely to attract people that will use and hurt you.
A pushover is one of the worst things that you can be. It's so important to be able to stick up for yourself whenever you've been wronged. Nobody will respect you if you are a pushover. It is just not worth it.
Because those people can sense it or something. I think some people get it wrong in relationships when they go into them giving everything and they think that, they have reasonable expectations, but they don't bring them up because they're scared they're going to scare the other person away. If your expectations are reasonable, you're not going to scare away another person just by asking, just by bringing things up.
If a woman has to say she's nurturing and caring, she's probably not.
If there's one thing that modern women will always deny, it's that their actions will always speak louder than their words. These women are terrible liars, and they don't even bother trying to hide them.
Those actions aren't judged by what you say, but by what you do. Nurturing women are like unicorns. They're rare to find. It's easy to claim to be nurturing, but true nurturing isn't about just saying the right things. It's about showing up consistently for others, putting their needs first when necessary, and creating an environment of trust and care. She mentioned that men do not like nurturing women, but that's a lie.
The majority of self-respecting men just want a woman who's going to be kind, peaceful, and respectful, but these women are incapable of doing that without making it a transaction, and even then, they give you the Temu version of affection and nurturing.
Men do value women who are nurturing because it creates a sense of emotional security. The idea that men don't reward nurturing women is also a lie. In fact, men are often drawn to women who nurture them because it builds a deeper emotional connection. They may not always show it immediately, but a man who feels truly cared for will reciprocate that energy in a meaningful way.
Modern reciprocation has little to do with emotional stability or kindness. It has everything to do with the contents of a man's wallet and how much he's willing to waste on a woman. But anyway, guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Drop a comment, and I will see you all in the next one. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Peace.